Self-care and magic. I want to read you a little excerpt. Self-care is a buzzword these days, but like media representations of magic, representations of self-care can be really confusing. What exactly constitutes self-care? Is it getting a mani-pedi or a new handbag actually self-care? And if not, then what is? Well, simply put, self-care is an activity that you do deliberately to take care of your mental, emotional, or physical health. That's from this book that I'm reading called The Witch's Book of Self-Care, which incorporates self-care and magic. So for those of you who do not know me, my name is Jamie Drew. I'm a mindset master, a holistic wealth practitioner, and a self-love activator. So basically, in a nutshell, I am a healer, right? And the modality that I choose to use to heal myself and to heal others is through self-care, because it aims to incorporate holistic care of the mind, of the body, of the spirit, and everything being healthy. So I'm sitting back and reading this book and just really immersing myself in those practices that I believe in and that have helped me to be so healthy, be so youthful. You know, I get a lot of people saying, you do not look 40. You look like you're in your 20s. And I want to brag. I was going to say, I don't want to brag, but yes, I do want to brag. But there has been a method to how I have gotten to look this way in my outward appearance. And it really starts from the inside. It comes from the holistic wellness, the magical, the art of self-care that I practice on a daily basis and have been practicing for so many years so that I've been able to stop the clock. And this information and these habits are available for every one of us to do too. So I incorporate a lot of things like getting enough sleep, drinking enough water, eating a plant-based diet, keeping stress levels low. Now, am I able to be perfect in these things at all times? Absolutely not. Say hello to my birds because they're saying hello to you if you hear them chirping in the background. They're very happy. They're very animated today. But there has been a buildup over time, over years of the things that I've done. And I just want to be able to pass that information back along to you so that you can command the life that you desire. It is within your power, it is within your grasp to be able to manifest anything and everything that you want in life, and to use the powers that you have as an individual being and as a woman to be able to amplify those practices. Now, you saw that the book that I was reading from was called The Witch's Book of Self-Care. And I had a conversation recently with somebody that, hey, Candace, it says you want to join me on video. Did you want me to bring you on, or was that I would call it a butt dial, but a butt press, an accidental press. So a lot of people have a negative connotation of, witchcraft, or what it means to be a witch, or to practice spirituality and rituals and do incantations or spells and things like that. But really, it's all in the marketing of it, right? It's all in the word of it. So you can see a witch as someone who is performing evil spells on somebody, or you can simply see her as a magical woman, a powerful woman who is in command of her reality, her life, her wellness, and her inner being, her inside is what you can see. You can see a spell or an incantation. You can rebrand that, rename it to be an affirmation or a prayer a grouping of words that you say with intention behind them to command a certain feeling or a certain existence into your reality. So for instance, if you're used to saying prayers, you may say grace over your food and say, may this food nourish my body and my mind. Bless the hands that prepared this food. You are putting a command out into nature of what you want. You are powerful. You have the divine within you. And this is a way of expressing your divinity. So it's so important that as we grow and as we learn our value and begin to amplify our value, that we know and understand how important it is to incorporate these things into our life and to not worry about the negative labels that have been put on women healers over time, because that's all that this is, using your mind, your body, your spirit, and the things that are in nature around you to be able to command exactly the existence that you desire, the youth that you desire, the anxiety-free days, the increase in finances that you are worth, okay? So the goals of self-care are to have a healthy mind, a healthy body, and a healthy spirit. Now, I'm the kind of person, I really like to dig into words because I want to have the full grasp and understanding of exactly what it is that we're talking about, because we grow up using certain words and language and we begin to become blind to their actual meaning, right? So let's talk about what health actually means, okay? So health is a state of being where you are free from illness or injury, okay? So your state of being, yourself, your mind, body, spirit, all of the things that make you up, okay? Including the inside, the internal organs, the brain, the lungs, the heart, the blood, all of these things include your health. And having holistic self-care incorporates all of these things together with the absence of disease or injury. So if you are diseased, if your gut is not healthy, if your heart is not healthy, if those things within your body, those systems within your body are not functioning optimally like they should be, then we can't say that you are healthy. So we want to start to do things. We want to start to perform the magic, right? What is magic? Magic is just having the power to have an influence over what you see in your world, right? So certain actions that you perform, certain actions that you take, certain things that you say, certain rituals, which is just a set of habits that you do over and over again, okay, become who you are. When you surround yourself and immerse yourself in the self-care, it becomes exactly who you are. So that's why in this book, when it says, is getting a mani-pedi or a new handbag actually self-care? Well, it can be, but we have to understand that holistic self-care and that full self-care is all encompassing, that everything counts, that it's the mind, body, and the spirit. So the handbag might satisfy your mind because you're thinking how good you will feel when you wear that purse, or how convenient it will be when you get that new handbag, or the compliments that you will receive from that handbag. Or getting a mani-pedi, you might Think of your feet in the water and how good that feels and how relaxing that is, okay? So that is the mind and the body and the spirit. These things overlap and come together and incorporate self-care for us. So I want to get into the book just a little bit more. I just want to give you a little bit more tidbit because I know that this is a lot of information to absorb. So as I was reading it, I said, I want to help people to understand this in small doses. Okay. The point of self-care isn't just about giving yourself a break. It's about becoming skilled at identifying your needs by listening to your mind, body, and spirit. Now, when it says listening, you're not going to hear anything, right? Your body is not going to say, well, you know what? Your stomach may growl if you're hungry. So you may hear something. But most of all, this type of listening is an internal listening, right? Hey, Tanisha. This type of listening is an internal listening, right? You feel things in your body. You get an inkling. You get your women's intuition as to what you should be doing, as to what should be going on within your lifestyle, within your body, within your health. Start to listen, okay? Does your tongue feel dry? Okay, well, maybe it's time for some hydration. Maybe it's time for some water. If your body is made up of mostly water, then you've got to continue to replenish that water, right? So that is what listening to your body, mind, and spirit, that is what listening to yourself means, because you're not going to hear a conversation. You're going to have a feeling, an inkling. A message is going to come to you. You may have a conversation with somebody that really inspires you or that you really connect with. You may watch a YouTube video and all of a sudden start crying. These are the things that are whispering to you. This is your women's intuition. This is a part of your nature, a part of the magic that you own, that you can tap into to care for yourself and to nurture yourself. Now, women in particularly, we really struggle with this self-care issue. I'm going to read another excerpt. This book is so good. Women in particular struggle with this self-care issue, although it's not a woman exclusive problem, but I'm talking to women here, okay? Women are socialized to care for the people around them by denying or minimizing their own needs. This leads to an erasure of self-worth and a constant putting off of rejuvenation or addressing the woman's own needs for support and nurturing. This in turn can lead to anger and resentment. And you already know, if you have that anger and resentment, what is it going to do? It's going to weigh on your self-care even worse. It's going to affect your mind and your body if you're angry and resentful because you cannot care for yourself and you have to keep chugging along, caring for other people at home, at work, or whatever the space it is that you give of yourself. So women normally feel guilty when they begin to tap into themselves and they start to feel selfish. Well, that's one of the words that I want you to erase from your head, is selfish, because I need you to reframe it, because you need to be selfish. You need to worry about yourself and give to yourself and not feel guilty about not having the time to care for somebody else or not completing a particular task that you know that you could be doing. You feel guilty. You feel like you're going to be judged by others. Oh, you're not a good mom. You're not a good woman. You're not a good significant other because you are giving time to yourself instead of giving time to tasking. We women are so accustomed to tasking 24/7 that it is so deeply ingrained within us that we feel bad. You know, I recently even discovered this about myself. I was having a conversation with a friend of mine who happens to be a therapist, and we weren't having a therapy session, but something that she talked about just came out as profound to me. And I talked about kind of having a day where I don't do anything. But I said that my nothing day, I may wash clothes, fold clothes, clean up the house. That's me not doing anything, right? But she said, oh, because when I have my do nothing days, I just lay in the bed and I actually don't do anything. I may watch something on TV, get up and get something to eat, get right back in the bed. And that really opened my eyes to know that even in my doing nothing, I was still tasking. In my days where I said I'm going to do self-care, I was thinking of only the actions that I could take. Now, I believe in holistic self-care, so I do believe that self-care involves actions. You may have to exercise, you may have to cook, you may have to clean, you know, for your mental space, for your body, all these things. But sometimes, in order for the mind to be renewed, you have to shut that off and actually don't do anything. So I wanted to impress that upon you as well. Thank you, Tanisha. Tanisha says self-care is not selfish. You cannot pour from an empty cup. And although that is very cliche, I will say that over and over again. If there is nothing to give, if your cup is empty, what are you giving? What are you giving out? What energy what value are you to others if you don't value yourself? So I want to leave you with this definition and also an invitation to go to my website, tgeliving.com, and start your journey today with plant-based wellness. It's one of the biggest things that has changed my entire life. You want to know how I'm able to be the way that I am and command my reality and look the way that I do and feel the way that I do as a quote-unquote middle-aged woman? It starts with nature. On tgeliving.com, it's a way of living. I show you that through botanicals, plants, herbs, that is the basis of your wellness. So you can get your botanical teas there. You can get your CBD herbal supplements there. And you can also get your botanical soaks there to ease your mind, body, and spirit and really dive into your own personal self-care. So as I said, I will leave you with one more quote from this book. It's sort of a definition of self-care that I really, really enjoyed. Self-care means considering yourself a worthwhile person and presenting yourself as valuable, capable, and deserving. In other words, self-care seeks to redress an imbalance that develops when you don't take proper care of yourself, whether by inattention or by choice. So I hope you have a happy, healthy Saturday full of nurturing activities that soothe your mind, body, and spirit and bring self-care, health, happiness, mindset mastery, love to your days. And thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget to visit my store. I call it a self-care apothecary. Okay? Go and get your medicine at tgeliving.com. And I will see you next time.